this is Halloween, and if you love costumes and Halloween as much as I do, you may want to subscribe because I'm going to be showing you something new every month. It's New Year, and you know what that means. Themed parties. So today I'll be bringing you some iconic looks of the 1960s. Now I know you're thinking I'm just gonna bust out the old tie-dye, get a fringy jacket, maybe a bandana and some bell bottoms, right? Today I'm gonna show you some other options for your upcoming 60s themed New Year's party. I'll be showing you some iconic looks popularized by some of the most notable fashion icons of the 1960s. Janis Joplin, Mary Tyler Moore, Elizabeth Montgomery, Edie Sedgwick, Twiggy, and Nancy Sinatra. Let's get started. Now if I just scroll over this, there's probably no doubt that you already know who we're starting with today. And that is the late great soul singer, Janis Joplin. So Janis Joplin was known for mixing patterns, wearing a lot of jewelry, very kind of layered look. She loved fur. This is a fur vest here. She loved feathers in her hair. I've got two pairs of shoes here that I'm gonna wear with two different Janis looks. I've got a patterned blouse here with lots of jewelry to accessorize with, and a cute little dress with she loved lace pantyhose. I'm gonna wear that, and I have some bell bottoms here that are like a mustard colored bell bottom that I'm also gonna rock. Now if you want to accessorize for Janis, get yourself a bottle of Southern Comfort. That'll seal the deal. Also, she has her iconic round glasses, and I'm gonna wear this wig with this look. With these looks, I should say. There are two. One thing Janis was known for was a very clean face. She did not wear a lot of makeup. Very hippie-like, very natural. And we're gonna get started with that. I'm glad to be back and doing costumes again. I had to give myself a bit of a financial break. I try to be as economic as possible when it comes to making costumes. That's what I'm trying to show you guys how to do, but it adds up no matter what you're doing. So from now through about April, I'm gonna be doing one costume a month. I'm gonna be airing that video the third week of every month, and then starting in May, I'm gonna be doing a costume a week again. And then in October, I'll be doing 2 costumes a week. So that way you kind of know the schedule, but I'm definitely gonna be putting something out there for you every month. Janis Joplin was not known for beauty. She was all voice and definitely style. Her fashion was a bit tacky by today's standards, or really any standards. Mixing patterns and mixing textures. She loved feathers, she loved fur, and a lot of jewelry. Mostly silver with natural stones and things like that. Very hippie oriented. Janis Joplin has a special place in my heart because she was one of my mom's favorites. So anytime I see or hear Janis, automatically think of my mom. Janis Lynn Joplin was born January 19th, 1943 in Port Arthur, Texas. Known for her powerful mezzo-soprano voice, she fronted the band Big Brother and the Holding Company. And like I said, she wore very little makeup, so we're going to just do some eyebrows here. With Big Brother and the Holding Company, she released 2 albums with them, and then she went on a solo career, basically. During her solo career, she joined the original Woodstock 69, as well as a traveling festival tour called the Festival Express, which took the festival by train to each different stop. If you've not seen it, there's a documentary on it. I think it's on Netflix or something. It's called the Festival Express, so you can watch that. Everybody was on that train, from the Grateful Dead to Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, just everybody that was famous during that time was on that train. And it's just a really cool, it has live candid footage of all of these great artists, most of which are dead now. So it's just a really cool documentary to watch if you like watching rockumentaries, which I love to. I even watch ones where I don't know who the person is just to learn about the music. So all I'm doing is making an eyebrow right now. Kind of bushier eyebrows is what she had. I mean, that's it. I really don't need to do much more for her. Maybe gonna put a little bit of blush on, but she really was very natural. I doubt she even wore mascara, but just for the sake of pictures and stuff, I'm gonna put a little mascara on. So with her solo career, she had 5 of her singles reach the Billboard Top 100. They included, of course, Me and Bobby McGee, Piece of My Heart, Cry Baby, Ball and Chain, and an original song, which was her final recording, called Mercedes-Benz. Joplin died of a heroin overdose on October 4th in 1970 in a hotel room at the age of 27. So she is part of the 27 Club we all have known and we've all at least heard about. Other people in that club include Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix, Amy Winehouse, the lead singer of a band called Canned Heat, which I can't remember what his name was. There's quite a few that lived hard and burned out quick. There's conspiracy surrounding the whole 27 Club thing too. I'm just putting a little bit, just to give me a little bit of color, and then I'm gonna add a little mascara. I don't look anything like her, not even a hair. So it is what it is. Her second solo album, Pearl, was released 3 months after her death. If you don't have Pearl, or if you don't know even who Janis Joplin is, which I guess there are some of you out there, but you love soulful rock music, I would definitely recommend the album Pearl for your collection. It's Janis Joplin's most popular hit record. We're all done. I'm gonna put a little mascara on, but I don't need to do that on camera. Janis here. Just wanted to let you know that no animals were harmed during the making of this video. Elizabeth Montgomery and Mary Tyler Moore were perhaps the 2 ladies most responsible for modernizing the housewife. They came out with these more sleek and clean looking ensembles that included oftentimes the pedal pusher pant, or you might call them capris. And I have a beret here. They would pair that often with a quarter-length sleeve. So I've just got a quarter-length sweater here that I already had. A lot of this stuff I got from the thrift store. Their look was very muted tones most of the time, not a lot of patterns. Now, Elizabeth Montgomery wore more patterns. With Mary Tyler Moore, it was usually just solid colors, very crisp, very clean, very modern. So I got this short sleeve sweater, boat neck sweater, to pair with these really great pedal pushers, which is this mustard color that I love. Everything came from the thrift store. This was $5 for these pants. I think the top was $5 as well. And this dress is very, very Mary Tyler Moore. It's the pencil skirt, you know, just crisp, clean lines, very pressed looking. And then I paired it with a little brooch that I already had. I got it for $6 at the thrift store. So for shoes, I've got these penny loafers, which were very popular back in the 60s. And I've got these regular heels that have a buckle, kind of like an open toe, a slightly open-toed, little bit of a platform on their Mary Jane style shoe. And that's it. We're gonna do our makeup. Let's get started. Now we're going to do a different look. In the 1960s, Elizabeth Montgomery and Mary Tyler Moore, like I was saying, reinvented the modern housewife. Back in the day, you had like Donna Reed, Lucille Ball, you know, they were always wearing the little dresses with the apron, and it was the likes of Mary Tyler Moore and Elizabeth Montgomery who really changed all that. They brought a sleeker look to the modern housewife. Today, we're going to be doing some looks inspired by these 2 women. Now, in my opinion, Mary Tyler Moore and Elizabeth Montgomery are 2 of the most naturally beautiful women of all time. I can remember as a kid watching the Dick Van Dyke Show and watching the Mary Tyler Moore Show and just thinking she was so beautiful. Her big smile, she just really lit up a room. And Elizabeth Montgomery, the same thing. As soon as they hit the screen, it was just, they really commanded your attention. That said, these 2 beauties, like I said, were very natural. They did not wear a whole lot of makeup. A simple soft cat eye, just regular makeup. I think because Dick Van Dyke was filmed in black and white, Mary Tyler Moore did wear red lipstick, but Bewitched was filmed in color, or Technicolor, and Elizabeth Montgomery wore more muted natural tones on her face. So we're gonna kind of do a little bit of both, starting with our foundation. Just any old foundation will do. I actually put a little bit of moisturizer on my face before starting today, because today I'm doing a few looks. So also, this Kat Von D is kind of dry. I think I've mentioned that in another video. It has good coverage and it's true to color, but it's dry. It's a vegan line, so I think not having those animal fats in the makeup kind of makes it a little bit more dry. So Mary Tyler Moore was born December 29th in 1936. And she's most famously known for her roles in the Dick Van Dyke Show from 61 to 66, and for the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Now, the Dick Van Dyke Show could be a great reference for you going to a 60s theme party. Now, the Mary Tyler Moore Show was filmed in the 70s, so there's more colors, there's more patterns, there's more polyester, that sort of thing. But we'll get into that at some point when I do a 70s video. So the look is very natural. As usual, I'm going to start with the eyebrows first. I will not be changing the makeup for each different look. I'm just going to be changing the lipstick only. Now, Mary Tyler Moore was in both major films, and she was in made-for-TV films later in her career. And she was known for her philanthropic efforts. She was actually a type 1 diabetic, so she did a lot of work for diabetes awareness and also animal rights. She was an animal rights activist. Both of these ladies were actually very active as far as activism, philanthropy, different things like that, for different reasons. They're kind of alike, but different. All I'm doing right now is just a simple eyebrow. Then we're going to get into doing our simple cat eye, a little bit of blush, and lipstick. That's it. Mary Tyler Moore was also a vegetarian. Obviously, I guess if she was animal rights, she'd be a vegetarian as well, right? Eating a lot of meat and being an animal rights activist, those two things kind of don't match up, I guess. But yeah, her diabetes got real bad later on in life. She was actually diagnosed in 1969. She was 33 years old, so she had it for most of her life and most of her career, struggling with this diabetes. And she ended up passing away in 2017. She was 80 years old. Her cause of death was cardiopulmonary arrest and pneumonia, complicated by diabetes. But she's one of these women that I always thought was so beautiful. My dad, in his yearbook, there's this beautiful girl that I thought was so gorgeous. And her name is Jeannie Pruitt, or was Jeannie Pruitt. I think she's passed away, but she kind of reminded me of a young Mary Tyler Moore a little bit. She had that same electrifying presence, just in a photograph, as Mary Tyler Moore did. To have that kind of natural beauty is really a gift. Everybody's beautiful naturally in a way, you just have to kind of learn how to embrace it and take care of yourself, Everybody's got their own unique version of beauty, if you think about it. Elizabeth Victoria Montgomery was born on April 15th, 1932. She's an American actress, probably best known for her role as Samantha Stevens in the TV series Bewitched. She had a very successful career spanning 50 years. She was the daughter of actor, director, producer Robert Montgomery, and actually had her first appearance in his television series, Robert Montgomery Presents. Elizabeth Montgomery also appeared on Broadway in a play called Late Love, for which she won a Theatre World Award. Her role as Samantha in Bewitched in the 1960s actually earned her 4 Emmy nominations and 4 Golden Globe nominations. She also had leading roles in several television films, most notably being The Legend of Lizzie Borden. Elizabeth Montgomery died May 18th, 1995 in her home. She had passed away of liver cancer after ignoring influenza-like signs that she was having. She was working on 2 different films at the time, right before her death, and she started having signs like flu-like symptoms, and she just ignored them. And by the time she was diagnosed in March of 1995, it was too late. The cancer had already spread to her liver, and there was no hope for surgery or anything like that. Unfortunately, she ended up succumbing to liver cancer. Now we're gonna do our cat eye and probably a lash as well. These are supposed to be magnetic. I don't really know how that works. I got them on sale. I'm just gonna do like the medium-sized one for this. We'll see what happens. So first things first, I'm not going crazy with it. I'm just going to, I almost want to start from the middle here. I have a visitor. He wanted to come in here and now he's bothering me. Now it's just going to be kind of like that. Going kind of from the middle of the lid and out into a cat eye. A very simple one. Not too dramatic. Just like that. Now I'm going to do the other one. No eyeshadow, mostly just a clean face. Well, you know, foundation. We used foundation, but just a clean look with a cat eye, a little bit of lipstick, and that'll be all. Just letting that dry. Now, you're going to want to put a little mascara on before you put your lashes on. As usual, you don't want light brown eyelashes sticking out. It's the order of operations here. Let me just put it everywhere. All right, got a little under here. I used glue to put these on. I'm not messing around with no magnets. I'm probably not doing it right anyway. I was probably supposed to buy some kind of, yeah, there's a magnetic eyeliner that I don't have, so. Anyway, that's not what it said on the pack. On the front, it just says magnetic eyelashes. Yay. Magnetic lashes. Doesn't say you need anything special, but I guess I should have known. I mean, my eyelids aren't magnetic, so. All right, anyway, that's my rant for the day. Just gonna line with a brown liner. It's just a light brown liner. All right, and then I have just a nude lipstick, and I kind of have that. So, that clean housewife face. Let's get dressed and take some photos. The next fashion icons we'll cover are going to be Twiggy, who was known for wearing kind of mini dresses that were halter or gathered at the top. It was kind of like her signature style. And we're going to accessorize with some disco ball earrings here. I'm going to wear these shoes for Twiggy. I'm probably going to use my own hair and just make it look short. She had a very specific pixie bob. Both women were basically the it girls of the 1960s. And then we have Edie Sedgwick, who was most commonly known for being Andy Warhol's muse. Interestingly enough, she didn't get paid for any of the work she did with Andy Warhol. Her style was basically, she was a big leg shower. So she was always showing off her legs. She would run around wearing like a sweater and pantyhose. So that's what we got here, a sweater and some pantyhose. And she was very known for wearing oversized earrings. So we're gonna rock that. And this is the wig I'll be wearing for Edie Sedgwick, for that style anyway. And we'll get started with our makeup. So these two ladies had a really more art pop look, something that was completely modern and artistic and model-esque, if you will. As you'll notice, I kept my makeup on because I'm going to be using this and building off of it. So you saw how I did my makeup for Mary Tyler Moore and Elizabeth Montgomery, and now I'll be doing this new look utilizing what I've already done, more or less. I've got some pictures pulled up of Twiggy, and here she is right here. If you don't know who Twiggy is, you may have seen her on America's Next Top Model. She's been on there as a guest judge many times, and she's pretty awesome. Just having a career that has spanned so long, she's probably like in her mid to late 60s now, I would think. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my liner, and I don't usually do this. You always want to do your liner before you put eyelashes on, because it's going to make things complicated. But I hate putting on eyelashes, and I'm not doing it again. So it's just what I decided. Deal with it. Alright, I'm just bringing my line all the way to the, middle. She had very round eyes, Twiggy has. I mean, I'm sure they're, not as round as they were when she was 20 years old. Everything kind of recedes as you get older. And if you've seen Twiggy lately, like on America's Next Top Model, she's keeping it real. You can tell she hasn't had a lot of work done. And that's not to say she's not beautiful. She's still very beautiful, but she's not filled and all of that like everybody else is these days. I mean, 10 years from now, everybody's gonna look like crazy. They keep pumping that stuff into their face. Anyway, that's how I feel about that. I think it's like one of those things that once you start doing it, you can't stop, because if you stop, your face will be droopy. So once you commit to it, it's a lifetime commitment just to maintain it, and probably very expensive. And all of these looks that I'm doing today are not to be exactly. It's just giving you the idea of where I got the idea from. I more or less stylized 4 classic looks using examples set by iconic fashionistas of the past, of the 1960s. It's not like I'm trying to mimic a specific look or any one outfit or anything like that. I'm not a twig, I'm not Twiggy, I'm not thin at all. So, I mean, portraying Edie Sedgwick and Twiggy is, it's not easy if I'm wanting to look exactly, and I'm not trying to look exactly today. I'm just giving you ideas. I got that all set. Twiggy was born Leslie Hornby in 1949. She was a British model and actress. She was one of the world's first supermodels, and it's kind of funny how she was found. I'm just going to try and bushify my eyebrows a little more. Bushify. I don't think that's a word, but I make up my own words here. This is my channel, so whatever. It is what it is. So she attended a high school for all girls, and in 1965, at the age of 18, she was working in a hair salon. And she met a hairdresser by the name of Nigel Davies. Later, he was known as Justin Villeneuve? Anyway, he called her Twigs because of her thin frame. The next year, he gave her her iconic bob and dark-framed eyes with fake lashes, thus creating Twiggy. It was the fake lash that she had underneath her eyes that they called Twiggies. So, if you saw in the picture, her bottom lashes were drawn on with liner. I don't know if you can see in the picture there, but that's what she was famously known for, is having those drawn on bottom lashes. So we're going to definitely do that today. I'm not going to do that first though. I'm going to go ahead and do my dark framed or dark lined eyes first. And I'm going to start with a light color. I'm using my Kat Von D palette, Edge of Reality, and I'm using this little light color here just to go on my eyelid. I just cleaned this brush and it's giving me problems. Just to give it a light base that's kind of sparkly and shimmery. So I'm doing that light right on the base. And then another thing Twiggy was known for is just kind of like, it's almost like a line. That's a dark line going across right in the crease. We're gonna try and do that without making a mess here. And this is gonna tie in to the Edie Sedgwick makeup too. For Twiggy, we're just trying to do as good of a line as we can. See, it's kind of like a line. It's not really blended or anything. And then we're gonna do the other, make it match. So you see how it's kind of just a little circle there? I would have done it a little thinner, probably. I don't have the right brush for that, if I'm being honest. I can go in here and kind of wipe a little off. They don't need to cut. Another thing I could have done was use this. These things. They probably do a good job. Now we're gonna go in and we're gonna do our Twiggies. Now, I've got this L'Oreal, which I'm not a fan of. It's got a nice precision tip on it. So we'll see if it'll do a good job on the Twiggies. I don't know, I don't like it. It's real watery. Let's try this one. Let's try this one. This is a Kat Von D Precision Liner. Actually got it a while back. You want to kind of make it, you don't want your lines to look too fat. It's supposed to look like an eyelash. Honestly, none of these are doing a great job, but now I have another one that I'm going to try. I'm going to try to darken these. This is the best one so far. This one has the darkest, cleanest lines, so I like that. And this one is Superhero Liner in Super Black, and I honestly don't know where it came from. I probably stole it from my boy. Not on purpose. I think he left it here, but maybe. That or it was my mom's, but she didn't really wear liner like I do. So I don't know. It works the best for the Twiggies, for sure. I'm digging it. So that's Twiggy. For this, I just used a very light lipstick. They were all about the smoky eye and the light lipstick. And this part of the 60s. Let's go get dressed and take some photos. So as you can see, I've already got my Edie Sedgwick outfit on and wig. The makeup is actually very similar to Twiggy. We're just gonna go a little heavier with the black eye makeup around the eye, in the crease. So Edie Sedgwick was an American actress and model. She was born on April 20th in 1943. In 1965, she became known as Girl of the Year. Edie Sedgwick's most popular work was perhaps done with Andy Warhol. He considered her at one time to be his muse and took a lot of videos of Edie Sedgwick at that time, which made her extremely popular. Andy Warhol was very popular. She was hanging out with all the elites and stuff. Of course, she got into drugs. Like I was saying before, she was never paid for any of this work she did with Warhol. And at a certain time in her career, in 1966, she decided to go and try and make a solo career for herself, perhaps maybe getting paid for it. When she broke from him, she remained on the drugs, which doesn't help when you're trying to start a solo career. And she just ended up getting worse and worse on the drugs. She also had mental health problems, so that became an issue as well. She died at the age of 28 of a lethal drug and alcohol mixture. She kind of had a very tumultuous, short life, you know, being so close to Andy Warhol, and then, you know, once she broke free from him, she just never got any better. So anyway, that's a little brief history of Edie Sedgwick. She was a beautiful girl. Now, if you look at her online, you'll notice that she's just nothing but legs. She's always showing her legs. She was very proud of her legs. She can always be seen wearing pretty much just pantyhose with the panty top and a sweater or some kind of shirt in most of her pictures. Now this became a very popular look in the 1960s. You might have noticed it. Anne Margaret during Viva Las Vegas wore this look. I think even Elizabeth Montgomery was photographed wearing this look at times. So it became kind of a popular look, especially for women with nice legs, to want to rock their legs and, you know, take photos and stuff. That's Edie Sedgwick. Let's go take some photos. Nancy Sinatra, perhaps the biggest female sex symbol of the 60s. Nancy Sinatra exploded onto the scene with her 1966 hit, These Boots Are Made for Walking. Not only was it a great song, it became every woman's theme song at that time. It gave women a voice at a time when they were a little suppressed in society and with men and all of that. So she really had a lot to do with women really coming into their own in the 1960s. For Nancy Sinatra, I'm going to be rocking this quarter-length sleeve keyhole neckline top, which I actually got from the thrift store years ago. I just fell in love with it. I thought it was so cute. These white earrings. I've got a belt that matches the earrings, a gold skirt. If you didn't notice this in the Twiggy photos, this is actually a purse, belonged to my mom. She got it, I think, in the 60s. But it's made to look like a rolled up newspaper. So I'm gonna be using that to accessorize. I've got some flesh tone fishnet pantyhose and this awesome jacket that actually my mom purchased on sale from Cachet years ago. And then this over here, I've got a halter dress. Again, this style was very popular in the 60s, the halter style dress. And the colors were just outstanding. So I was so happy to get that. And of course, the go-go boot. We're gonna have to rock a go-go boot. That was another thing that made Nancy Sinatra very popular. I don't think that she thought it was gonna be as big of a deal as it was, but because of her song, These Boots Are Made for Walking, becoming so popular, the boots gained popularity right along with the song. So let's get started on our makeup. As you can see, I've already done my hair. Got a little bouffant going on. She had the bouffant, the sex symbol. You know the fembots from Austin Powers, if you remember Austin Powers, if you're old enough. Fembots. It was a very fembot sort of style. The bouffant sort of hair, the tall boots, very sexy, you know, shorter skirts. Nancy Sinatra was, whew, she was awesome. She really inspired a lot of women. Her style, as far as makeup goes, was, you've seen Sharon Tate. If you don't know Nancy Sinatra, you might know Sharon Tate, Dusty Springfield. They all kind of had the same V winged tip liner. Again, a nude lip most. So what I'm going to start with, as always, is I'm going to do my eyebrows. So we're going for this look here. I'm going to do like a brown shadow, and then I'm going to go over it with the dark black liner. Again, like Twiggy, it's going to be in the crease, going out, and then another line here, and another line right below the eye. And well, it goes all the way across, but it's thicker halfway. So let's do this. I have this Ulta palette, all kinds of browns in here. So I'm just going to go with a light brown. There's one here. They probably don't even make this palette anymore, but it's just a light brown. All right, here we go. I'm going in. Ooh, it kind of matches my hair. Now, Nancy Sinatra had blonde hair. I wanted to give you a lot of options here. You don't necessarily have to buy a wig. You can do your own hair. And there's a lot of tutorials online that you can watch that show you how to do a 60s style hair. So, I mean, to save you a bit of money, go that route, you know? Save yourself some money. Wigs are about $15 to $20 online, and sometimes more than that if you get human hair wigs. So, especially if you have nice thick hair, I mean, totally rock your own hair. My hair is like ostrich feathers, so anyway, I guess it's not that fine, but it's pretty fine. All right, that's what we're going for with the brown. Basically creating a smoky eye with brown. So we want it blended. We're going just above our crease, not all the way to the brow line. My voice is giving me trouble today. I got the ungawa going on in my throat. Not sick or anything, just woke up with an abundance of stuff in my throat. Yay! So now we're gonna start in with our eyeliner. Let's see how we do. So we're gonna go into the crease and create a line. Now, this is gonna come all the way over here so that when we open our eye, the line is visible in the crease, just like hers. I'm gonna have to give it a second to dry. If I look like a clown, I'll just remove it. I don't really think that this is gonna work for this application. May have to bust out the trusty old liquid liner. I'm okay with the thickness of the line because it's gonna be graduated. This was basically, I think, to give the illusion of thicker lashes. Even though there was probably fake lashes on and everything else too. You just couldn't get enough accent around those eyes in the 60s. So that's how it's going right now. It doesn't look very crisp, but we're gonna clean it up. So here's what your top line is gonna look like. It's going all the way down into the crease, but just beyond where your eye opens, so it can still be visible when your eyes open. And it looks pretty awesome. Just to accent, I'm gonna add some shimmer to that lid right below it. I think I'll go with gold shimmer from my Von D palette. That's how that's gonna look. I'm gonna do the other side just the same, which may take a minute. So just for the sake of not having to edit out a bunch of crap, I'm gonna do the other side off camera, and then we're gonna do our bottom lid. So just to show you my progress there, just gonna put the gold, and then we're gonna do our bottom lid, which is just gonna be kind of a traditional cat eye. We're just gonna go a little bit thicker with that. Again, it's drama, drama, drama for this part of the 60s. The women had just gotten their power back with this hit song, These Boots Are Made for Walking, and they were ready to take on the world. Now let's do our bottom lid. You know, these precision pins are great for a few uses, but then the felt tip gets all gnarly and weird, and that's not helpful. I paid a fair amount of money for this thing, and it's okay, but it could be better. Let's just put it that way. Let's just go with all we're doing here is just trying to match up with the above line. I think I'm gonna leave it as a second line though. I'm not gonna meet them up or anything. Just going with my liquid liner, tried and true. Put a little blush on. I got my sort of nude lipstick. It's kind of a mauve color. Gonna rock that. Hey Nancy, all Nancy'd out and ready for photos. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope you loved this New Year extravaganza, a journey back to the 1960s. Now at your next party, you could be the star of the show. Just do me a favor and don't do one of these. These costumes are extremely expensive for what they are. They're made poorly. You might get one wear out of them, and they look like crap. Watch this video, get some other ideas, go to the thrift store and buy some authentic looking 1960s threads. And I want to wish you all a happy new year. And those of you out there watching my videos, those of you that have subscribed, that comment regularly, I'm so grateful for every one of you. And make 2023 the year that you chase your dreams. They're not going to come to you. You have to go and get them. If you're in a job that's not suiting you, or if you're unhappy, go chase your dreams. Because life is short, and it's only right that we're happy. Happy 2023. This will be my last episode of this year. I'm going to see you on the 1st. That concludes today's video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and Happy New Year. I'll see you next year.